Welcome to Push to Pass podcast with JP Murray, a discussion about business, racing, sports, and life. This podcast delivers insights on what makes businesses, teams, and people successful based on real-life business experiences. Following a career with America's largest associations, JP Murray founded the Murray Company, one of Washington, D.C.'s most successful consulting firms. The company was acquired successfully and enabled him to launch JP Murray Racing, a business development and sponsorship agency for auto racing teams. Here is JP.
Hello there and welcome to the Push to Pass. I'm JP. I have 5 business myths to dispel today for you. You know, these are myths that we may have heard over the decades, but they've almost become rules, but really are challenged by the realities of today. The first business myth: it takes money to make money. Not really. It's easier to launch a business with very little capital than ever before. Most of the distribution channels for you to launch are free or vastly underpriced. And the tools that we've got at our disposal enable us to go to work with fewer employees. Launching your dream job is really just a decision away, and that decision is frankly yours. Business myth number 2, it isn't what you know, it is who you know. Oh my goodness, young people don't know anybody, but man, we sure want them in our jobs today. The skills that they have in this Web 3.0 area are highly sought after. And frankly, with all of the connecting tools that we have with social media, we all know each other or frankly are a connection away from doing so. I launched a racing business by knowing like 3 people in the industry, but I knew about how to develop business partnerships and sponsorship programs. So I think that's flipped on itself. It's what you know, not necessarily who you know. Business myth number 3, location, location, location. My guess is there's still an application to that in real estate, I'm sure. But increasingly, this is an environment of what you do and how well you do it, not where you are. Business myth number 4, the customer is always right. No, we knew that anyway. But if they are calling you to help them, it's because they don't have it right or they don't have something figured out. It took me a while to learn this, but the more you can tell them and the more candid you can be about telling them where they're misguided or implementing the wrong strategies, the more valuable you are to them. Business myth number 5, in sales, the prospect is buying you. You know what? There are a great deal of things that the individual salesperson does to influence the deal. Don't get me wrong. But I think the individual salesperson has less to do with the actual end result than we might imagine. What I mean is, I'm not trying to sell you anything. That's a superpower for people that are in business development. This subtle change of not trying to sell anyone caused a different trajectory in my life. I was trying to convince people, and I was losing. And when you feel like you're losing, there's a question of why to continue, and you probably aren't as active as you need to be. And when that leaks into your mind, it's difficult, if not impossible, to be your best. Here's why I'm not trying to sell you anything is so powerful. No one wants to be sold. Everyone wants to get a hold of something that they want, though. They want to buy. So our job is to find who wants your offer. And I'm not here to sell you. You become more informative. You become more consultative. Rather than pressure, it's not on you or your psyche when you think about not selling them. We start to separate interested from the uninterested prospects. This attitude is liberating. No convincing, no tricking, no pressure. They're not buying you. They're buying what you have to offer because it can help them solve a problem. That's where we're going, my man and lady. When you do that, you run free, you're helping, you're serving, and you're better for those that you serve and better for your mindset. So, those are my 5 business myths. I hope I've poked some holes in those today. Hey, if you've got some of your own, pass them along to me. I'd love to hear about them. I wish you the very best in the upcoming week, and I can't wait to speak with you next week on the Push to Pass podcast.
Thank you for listening to the Push to Pass podcast with JP Murray, a discussion about business, racing, sports, and life. If you would like to sponsor Push to Pass, send an email to jp@jpmurray.com. Follow JP on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. His website is jpmurray.com. Until next time, push yourself to pass the competition. Thanks for listening.